Your cybersecurity solution is here. Introducing Pentester's Advanced Cybersecurity Suite. Ready for peace of mind? Try it for free. No credit card required. Pentester.com.
Hello, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to Reformed Gangsters. If you like my content, please subscribe and ring the bell. Also, please become a Patreon member. It's $5 a month. I got a lot of good content on there, and it helps with my show to keep my show going. So I appreciate all the help. Thank you. So I have some interesting stuff on my Patreon channel. I was actually in Ozone Park 2 weeks ago because I do go back to my neighborhood. So, you know, the people that are saying that I'm not allowed back in my neighborhood, I do go back to my neighborhood. I wouldn't move back there because it's not like it used to be, but I would definitely move back to New York and live in Brooklyn or Manhattan if I can, or be a snowbird. So I do go back to my neighborhood, and I was actually driving around my neighborhood, filming locations and talking about the mob in Ozone Park. The content is on my Patreon. In the future, I'm going to be doing this again. I'm going to be touring New York, driving around with a professional camera crew. So the content will be a little better. But check out what I have now, and there'll be more to come in the future. My beef with Tom DeCicco, who was with the Genovese family, who ran the Chins Club on Sullivan Street. On the west side of Manhattan, the lower Manhattan on the west side. And I didn't disrespect the Chins Club. We were actually disrespected. When I walked in, Dom DeCicco was sitting by himself in the club at a table. There was no one else in the club. Tony Roach and I walked into the club. I walked up to the table, and Dom DeCicco started with me. He threw his glasses at me. They hit me in the chin, the chest. He lifted up his arm. I grabbed his arm. I just put him up against the wall, and I told him, please, Dom, don't hit me because we're going to fight back. And he started cursing and screaming, and we left. We didn't disrespect the Chins Club. A couple of days later, we had a sit-down actually with the Chins brother, who was Dom DeCicco's captain, and we had a sit-down in the club on Sullivan Street. I don't know what the Chins' response was, because his name wasn't mentioned at the sit-down because you weren't allowed to mention his name. But his brother was there at the sit-down, and it was resolved. So, yeah, my father knew Sammy the Bull from when he first got straightened out. He was with Tato, who was good friends with my father. That's the guy that proposed Sammy and the Gambino family. And him and Tato and my old man, Fat Andy, came up together through Robert Anastasia. Well, a lot of them became captains. I mean, it was a big crew. It was Tato, the guy that was with Sammy, my father, Tony Lee, Frankie Martin, Mike Catalano, Charlie West. There was a whole Neil. I mean, there was a whole big crew. Danny and Charlie Wagons. Charlie and his brother, like I said, Charlie and his brother Danny. There was many of them. A couple of them became captains. A couple of them, you know, they were all killers. It was a dangerous crew. I have no idea. I didn't talk to Sammy about that. I know Frankie DeCicco. If it wasn't for Frankie DeCicco, John could have never done what he done. Kill Paul Catalano, become the boss. You know, he had to have Frankie DeCicco on his side. I don't think it makes any sense for him to kill Frankie DeCicco. Because Frankie DeCicco actually nominated him to be the boss. So I don't, you know, I just could give my own personal opinion on it. But that's a good question. When I go to Arizona next week, I'm going to ask Sammy. I'll get back to you.
Why did Bobby DeCicco accuse Sammy of killing Frankie? Did he know something?
Bobby DeCicco's an idiot. That's why. Bobby DeCicco is a babbling idiot. I never liked him. He was Frankie DeCicco's uncle. I liked his brother. I used to go to his brother's club. His brother owned a club in Brooklyn. I forgot the name of it, but I used to go there and hang out. His brother had a club in Brooklyn. Frankie DeCicco's two uncles, they both were straightened out. I don't like him. He's the guy that's in a lot of the videos after Raven. Like the whole family, the whole city should celebrate. He's a fucking idiot. I don't believe not. You know, he's an idiot. No, I didn't, unfortunately, but I saw a lot of his fights on, TV, on film, but I never saw him fight. But I know he beat my man Nino Benvenuti for the middleweight title. I saw Nino Benvenuti fight live. That was the first fight I ever went to in the 60s. I saw Nino Benvenuti fight Emil Griffith for the middleweight title at Shea Stadium. They fought 3 times for the middleweight title. And Benvenuti from Italy, he was an Italian boxer. My father loved him. He beat Emil Griffith 2 out of 3. And then a little later on, Nino Benvenuti fought Monzon for the middleweight title, and Monzon crushed him. He was a beast, Monzon. And then he went to jail for killing his wife, Monzon.
Was Tommy Agro crazier than Roy DeMeo?
Different kind of crazy. Roy DeMeo was a psychopathic murderer. Tommy was just crazy in the head, like screaming and yelling, and totally different. So the next couple of weeks, I have some traveling coming up. Next week on February 15th, I'm flying out to Arizona to meet up with my friend Sammy the Bull. We're going to do a show out there. Sammy the Bull, my cousin Gene Barillo, and myself. I'm looking forward to that. It should be interesting, a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of things to say about it. So, I'm looking forward to that. And then the week after that, I'm flying out to Tulsa, Oklahoma to do the Profa. I'm going to be at the Shrine the night of the 22nd, Thursday the 22nd, February 22nd. If you want tickets, you want to come to the event, please, there'll be a link on the bottom of this content for you to log on and buy some tickets. Looking forward to seeing anybody that's in that area out there at that time. So a lot of good things are happening. I also have my store open. So please, if you look interested in promoting Reformed Gangsters podcast, please go to my store and buy some merch. We got some good mugs, some nice t-shirts, Fat Andy t-shirts, some hats. Also, my Patreon is $5 a month. So, I got some really good content on there, so you can check it out for $5. And everybody stay well.